Hey everyone, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the C&L Sport Rotor and Pad Kit, available for all 2011 through 2014 non-Brembo GT Mustangs. Now, you guys should be checking out the C&L option if you're looking for a super affordable both front and rear brake upgrade for your S197 that will also look good behind your favorite set of wheels. So right off the bat here, gang, again, this will be a great low buck option for all non-Brembo S197 owners out there looking for a subtle upgrade for both the front and rear of your ride. Now, this is going to improve both the stopping power and appearance at the same time, but obviously something like this, we're going to talk function first here. Now, the drilled and slotted design of the rotors, that's in place to help keep rotor surfaces clean and those temperatures down. And that's ultimately huge when we're talking about reducing brake fade. Brake fade is certainly one of the biggest enemies of braking performance, and that typically comes along when things get a little too hot. Now, as an added bonus, that drilled and slotted design here certainly going to offer a nice visual upgrade behind your favorite set of stock or aftermarket wheels. Listen guys, at the end of the day, I think we'd all really love a set of big aftermarket brakes on our car from a function and form standpoint, but if you can get part of the way there for just north of 300 bucks, as is the case here, I'd say it's certainly going to be a good compromise as opposed to going with something like a Wilwood or a Bear or a Brembo kit that's going to cost you a few $1,000s. Well, let's dive a little bit deeper into the construction here with the C&L kit, starting with the rotors. These guys will start off life as a G3000 grade cast iron blank. Now from there, the rotors do receive that slotted and drilled treatment using the precision machine rounded slots and beveled holes. And then, as you can see, the entire package of the rotor here has been finished off in a silver zinc coating. That's just there to help prevent any corrosion on your non-friction related surfaces. Now this kit does, of course, also include pads here for both the front and rear. Pretty complete kit, guys. The pads are going to incorporate a ceramic metallic material. It's going to be a bit more aggressive than your stock run-of-the-mill pad, of course, but maybe not quite as aggressive as those more gnarly carbon-infused pads that you might find here on the site from Hawk or PowerStop. Now with that pad, again, certainly looking at an increase in bite, in stopping power, but at the same time, C&L tells us they will be relatively low noise and low dust. Now your price point for the front and rear kit, again, pads, rotors, the whole 9 yards, gonna land you in that low to mid $300 range, which is gonna make this one of the most affordable kits of its kind here when we're talking about an upgrade for the non-Brembo GTs. And again, at the end of the day, if you're looking for a subtle upgrade, it's gonna perform well, it's gonna look great, certainly a fraction of the cost of going with a Brembo kit, a Bear kit, or Wilwood, something like that. All right, last but not least here, gang, we want to segue into the installation portion of our video. Site's going to call this one a pretty strong 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe about 3 hours or so to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of just how exactly this job will go down at home, feel free to check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need the supplied brake grease, front caliper tool, caliper hanging tools, 15, 13, and 12 millimeter wrench, rear caliper tool, and brake clean. All right, today we're gonna be installing some brakes on our Mustang, so let's get started. All right, now we're in the back here, we're gonna take off our caliper. So we have 2 13 millimeter bolts holding on our caliper to our bracket. So we're gonna take our ratcheting wrench and take those off. All right, now we can take our caliper off, grab a hanging tool, just hang that up out of the way. We can also take our pads off while we're here. All right, now we can take our bracket off for our caliper. There are 2 15 millimeter bolts holding it on. All right, and now we can just take our rotor off. All right, now we're gonna take our front brakes off, so take our front caliper off. All right, now we're gonna take our two 12mm bolts off. All right, we can take our caliper off now. Grab a hanging tool. Just hang that up on our strut here. You can also take our pads off while we're here. All right, next we are going to take our caliper bracket off. That is these two 15mm bolts here. And then we can slide our rotor off. All right, then you just repeat the same process for the other side for the front and the rear. All right, today we're gonna be installing some brakes on our Mustang, so let's get started. All right, now we can install our new rotor. You can just make sure you have the right one. You can check the serial number. It does end in an L for the left side. First thing we're gonna do is just grab some brake clean. Just clean off the surface of the rotor of any oil or debris. All right, now we can install it on the car. All right, now we're gonna get our caliper bracket and just replace our clips. All right, we're just gonna pop our old clips off. All right, and then we can just install our new clips. Just push them on. And now we can install it back onto the car with our 15mm bolts. All right, now we're gonna install our bracket. Grab our two 15mm bolts. All right, grab our ratcheting wrench and tighten them down. All right, now we're just gonna use the supplied brake grease, grease up our pads to where they're gonna go on our clips. And also the one with the brake wear indicator will be on the inside. All right, now we're gonna grab our rear caliper tool and depress our rear piston. All right, so as you can see, this piston does turn in, it doesn't just press in. Just gonna grab our tool and twist it till it's fully down. All right, then we can put it over our pads. All right, we're gonna grab our 13mm bolt and install that. All right, we'll grab our ratcheting wrench and tighten them down. All right, now you go ahead and repeat the same thing for the other side. All right, now we're gonna put our front rotor on. Once again, check the serial number, make sure it says L for the driver's side. So once again, you're gonna take brake clean, clean off any oil or debris. And we can put it on the car. All right, now we're just gonna replace our clips. Just gonna pop our old ones off. Install our new ones. You will see this flat edge that goes on the outside. All right, now we can install it on the vehicle. All right, now we're gonna put our bracket on with our 15mm bolts. All right, now we'll grab our 15mm ratcheting wrench and tighten that down. All right, next we can get our pads. We're going to put some grease where they're going to go on the clips. Remember that the wear tab goes on the inside. All right, and then now we can put on our caliper. First we need to compress it. All right, now we're gonna grab our front caliper tool and compress our pistons. All right, once that's done, we can put our caliper over our pads. Then reinstall our 12mm bolts. All right, we'll grab our 12mm ratcheting wrench and tighten them down. All right, now once you've done all that, you just want to make sure that you pump up your brake pedal to build up pressure because you did just compress all of your pistons. All right, now wraps up our install of our C&O Super Sport brake, rotor, and pad kit for the front and rear of our 2011-2014 Mustang GT without performance pack. And remember, for everything Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.